I wonder why.
Wonder.
I wonder the possibilities.
This is wonderful.
This is wonderful.
What a wonderful day.
Wonderful day. Welcome to Wonderful Stories.
Don't forget to share this story with a friend.
It's time for a story.
Let's go. Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. Today is part 2 of A Frog Rides a Freight Train to Philly. Let's pick up where we left off and see what happens. Peering out into the train yard, this little frog watched for hours until night came as freight cars got unloaded and shuffled here and there. It sure was something to watch. An occasional bug found its way to the top of this frog's temporary tote home, and he enjoyed a snack every once in a while before dozing off shortly after the sunset. As he rested for the night, little did he know, but before the sun would wake in the morning, a new adventure would begin, and he didn't have the froggiest idea what was about to happen. Suddenly, some crunching sounds abruptly woke up this little 3-striped frog from one of the deepest nights of sleep he ever had. Someone was walking by rather fast through the stones that were scattered all over the train yard. The day before had so much unexpected, unplanned adventure that he didn't even notice the sun was beginning to poke its face up on the horizon, gently whispering, "Good morning." More footsteps could be heard, and the train yard began filling up with people, one after another. It wasn't long before the engines began starting up, and whistles once again echoed all around. It only seemed like moments had passed as things had gone from complete silence to one of the busiest places he had ever seen. He quickly felt his entire body begin shaking and rattling as the engine he was on started up, and he began getting ready for some ground to cover. He recognized the conductor climbing aboard, and they locked eyes as the man yawned and patted the frog's tote ever so gently. The slender man's eyes narrowed and focus overtook him as he effortlessly treated that train car as though it was an extension of his own body. He checked dials, he made adjustments, inspected everything for safety, and contributed to the whistle blowing as he signaled to let everyone know he was ready, like clockwork, for their departure. "Hold on, little buddy," he said fairly loudly over the engine as the train began to rock, shake, rumble, and then rolled. Slowly at first, then a little faster, then faster, and even faster, chugging right along. The conductor would occasionally peek down and give the little frog a pat or a wink as they puffed down the track. Time passed slowly for a while. Then all of a sudden, things began looking a little familiar. Was it possible? Was it true? Was he really getting close to being home? Hopping to one side of the clear tote, he propped his front, slightly sticky toes on the sides of the clear plastic wall to get a better view. At that moment, the train began to change speeds ever so slightly as 3 long bursts sang out from its whistle. Slower, 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 and slower they went until a puff of steam shot out, announcing to the city it had officially arrived. "Well, little guy," the conductor said with a half-cracked smile, "I think this might be close to where you live. What do you say we get you home?" Noticing a jacket that seemed all too familiar propped against the wall of the train car, the conductor threw it over his shoulders. Gently, but with a firm hand, he reached for the frog. And one step at a time, they worked their way off the train. Looking up at the smoke pouring out of the engine, the frog gave what appeared to be a smile as he was lowered onto some grayish-white stones that were warm from the sun's touch. The conductor paused, took a deep breath, and boarded the train again. He gave the whistle an extra long blast as his way of saying goodbye and smiled. He thought of his grandson and took his camera and snapped a picture of the weathered and slightly crooked sign that in one direction pointed to Tyler Avenue, and in the other it read Harpersville Road. He was looking forward to telling his grandson all about the day's adventures. As the train moved along the track and the small line of cars that had been waiting for a clear passage disappeared, the light brown frog with a small dark triangle shape between its eyes and 3 thick dark stripes down its back slowly made his way past the warm bed of stones and into the grass, through the trees to a little clearing with the perfect little pond. It was a path he knew too well, but this time, hopping along felt different. He was not the same. He had experienced something that changed him, and he would hold on to it forever. To this day, he still enjoys a mid-morning snack on the edge of the water and his late morning naps. He was reliable and consistent, an amphibian of routine, but he was also more flexible now. And he knew deep within, if something ever comes along unexpected or not according to plan, that embracing it can lead to wonderful, beautiful, and adventurous things. Dipping his toes into the water, then he nestled up for a relaxing nap. He heard the distant whistle of a freight train as he dozed off, smiling, as all frogs do. Today's story, part 2 of A Frog Rides a Freight Train to Philly, was written, read, and produced by Eric Anthony. Wonderful Stories is online at wonderfulstories.com. You can also check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
Thanks for joining us. Please give us a 5-star and a review.
Be on the lookout for more coming soon. Until next time.
Be full of wonder. Be wonderful.